Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Hope you're good. Part number 3 of our little series of 5 of the most undervalued at the moment, possibly to look at for 2020. VeChain. Let's talk about it. Let's go into more detail about why I believe this is undervalued, and let's see what it could do in terms of the future. Hey everyone, welcome. If you've not done it yet, hit that subscribe button, press that bell button as well. Leave a like. It is New Year's Eve. Let's start 2020 with a bang, and let's hope to get my channel in front of more audiences without getting it banned or silenced off any knobheads, basically. So let's talk about VeChain. VeChain is something that I've held for a while. It's my profit bag, essentially. I put a lot of profits into this ages ago. Took a lot of profits, sitting on it for a while, long-term investment, happy with it. It's been around for a while. I want to talk about it in terms of what it is. A lot's changed with VeChain in terms of the website, in terms of like the brand infrastructure. But for me, I think it's quite a dominant force, especially in Asia. Like I say, I think it has a lot going for it. I think in terms of a DApp, in terms of an absolute startup enterprise solution on blockchain, it's pretty big, and I think it offers something a little bit unique to what most people have in the space. So let's talk about it in a bit more detail and why you should kind of consider looking at it. Again, this is not financial advice. We're going to do this for a bit of fun essentially, but it's my opinion. I hold this anyways, and most notably, we're going to go over it in 6 months to 12 months time, see how these are actually doing and how they're shaping up. So far, I've covered XRP. This is number 2, and there'll be 3 more after this. So what is it? It's an enterprise-focused blockchain ecosystem that aims to enhance supply chain management by connecting blockchain technology with real-world governance structure, essentially. Simple stuff. In terms of how it works, it's kind of a lot of work in parts to a lot of things. It's got startup solutions, it's got enterprise solutions, it's got obviously a decentralized application, but it also has technology within clothing, within food, transportation, with logistics of parts, to ensure that they are obviously real, the real item that is required for said clothing, for said vehicle, for said food transportation. Temperatures such as sushi, as an example. You can't transport sushi at a wrong temperature. It will spoil, people will then shit themselves when they eat it. That sort of thing is not good. So that's the sort of thing that they're doing, but they have international operations in Singapore, Luxembourg, Tokyo, Shanghai, Paris, Hong Kong and San Francisco. Quite a big footprint there. So in terms of the website, you can go through it. It's quite easy. I'm not going to go too deep in this video. I'm not going to give you the full rundown, the full PowerPoint presentation, because you'll all just run away. But I'm just going to kind of explain a few little things about it, and then we're going to look at the chart. We'll look at the partnerships as well, what they've got. And yeah, this for me I think is very, very undervalued in terms of longer term. This is not something that's going to go bang overnight. This is investing, guys. Remember what I said in part number 1, how to do it. Check out that video. I'll probably put a link up here somewhere. But for me, there's a lot of bump on this, a lot of information, and you need to understand it before you make the investment. And that's the sort of thing that you need to do your research on. It takes a long time to do research in coins. A lot of people just go straight to Reddit, straight to Twitter, and just buy whatever. The problem is you've got to do your research, and this is the sort of thing that has a lot of stuff now. Meta transaction features, like stuff like this, is like, what on earth? It's all blockchain speak, and you are basically investing in a blockchain ecosystem that is designed to make the world a better place. Essentially, that's its use case, to make things better. As simple as that. To allow the counterfeit industry to disappear, to allow proper tracking, to allow things to be dependent on something that works. It's kind of a big deal, and in China we've all seen it. We've seen let's accelerate the blockchain space, let's accelerate the technology, let's make it a better place for the world being on a blockchain. VeChain is pretty much Chinese. It's got a lot of Chinese partners. This is their front runner essentially at the moment for technology. You've obviously got Neo and stuff like that, but I think this gives a lot more depth to what, and you'll see in the partnerships what they've got. So in terms of this, they've got obviously proof of authority, they've got masternodes, it's a neighborhood of networks, and obviously you get paid in V4. and that is giving you a sustainable economic business model as well. So there's a lot of things going for it in terms of like how it runs and how it runs the fees and how it's like self-sufficient, which is kind of a lot of coins fell down in that. They weren't self-sufficient, they were just a coin, they had a value, once that value fucked off, they were shit, dead. You know, so this is the sort of thing that you need to look out for. And all the governance stuff is kind of interesting as well. Community elected, community committee facilitates decision making, execution supported by on-chain governance mechanisms. It means it is decentralized in such a way. Yes, there's a team involved, there's a builders and all kinds of stuff, but its reality is it's got some decentralization. There's not one person making that one whole decision. So stuff like that within a chain, you know, it's kind of required, and we do miss that. We do miss that in a way. I already mentioned the economic model. Obviously, you've got VeChain, the smart money, and then you've got the VTHO, the energy, which would obviously allow, you know, more cost-productive stuff, less fees, make it simple, make it fast, make it work in a better way. And obviously, it's got smart contract elements within it, with it being a DApp and stuff. So there's a lot of things happening, moving parts, and you need to understand them. But I'm not going to bore you with all, because I'll be here for like 3 hours. I will, because it's so big. But you've obviously got the foundation, you've got the enterprise users, you've got community investors, developers and startups, you've got institutional partners. There's a lot of institutional partners, by the way. I'm going to go through that in a minute. And research partners. But there's some great things going for it, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to go through it now in terms of other stuff. But I want to show you a few things. This is obviously the application hub. This is the DApp VeChain world. There's a few things on it, not much. It's relatively new. But you've got some stuff here. Sync, I've got that. That's pretty much perfect for your lovely little wallets. It's pretty cool. And obviously my tokens as well. And obviously verify. Verify is pretty cool. It's to verify if something is on our blockchain, if it's got a unique reference number and it is verified. There's all kinds of stuff on here. But, you know, this is relatively new. This will grow as things get better, as you can kind of see. There's a few things on here. There's a few missing things as well. So things will get better. More dApps will come, more investors will want to, you know, not so much investors, but developers and investors will want to get more things on here to make it a better place, and obviously all run in one place. So it does have a genuine use case for a dApp, but it is, again, relatively new. In terms of partnerships, let's go through a few of these, because this is where it gets interesting. Now, the new website, I've not quite gone through it in the full depth to find out all the partners, but there's a lot on there anyways. You know, you've got some multi-billion pound or dollars, whatever, running with this, partnered with this. You see here, can't even say that name, but supply and logistics, roughly $22 billion in revenue. It's been a partner since 2016. Pretty cool. DGI, wine importer, to make sure that wine is the real thing. A lot of counterfeit wines are a problem, weirdly. Same with cigarettes, same with other kind of spirits and alcohol through customs and stuff. You need to figure out if it's real or not. PricewaterhouseCoopers, again, audit and advisory, 37 billion revenue. They're pretty damn big. National Research Consultant Center, consulting. You've got Reynolds Group, which is pretty big. You've also got Microsoft as well within that. You've got BitOcean, pretty big ATM manufacturer for buying and selling cryptocurrency coins, essentially. Can't even say that. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to attempt to say that. But 3.3 billion revenue in financial services, you know, for collateral-backed loans, property mortgages, and enterprises in China. DNV, relatively big company. You know, risk management, certification, all kinds of stuff like that. You know, cool stuff, really. Stuff that you need to use. 2.4 billion. And you're going to start seeing the real estate in China. You know, telecommunications, 42 billion revenue. These are crazy revenues, by the way. Cyprus Invest, and you've got Walmart. Walmart's one of the big ones. You've also got one of the big electric car manufacturers as well within that. So there's a lot of things happening, but they have food chain supply, like kind of working together for tracing food and stuff like that with Walmart in China. So that's a massive, huge. But there's other things out there as well. There's other things, PwC as well. But that's just some of them, some of the partners that they've got that are working with it. But in terms of the chart, let's have a look. You know, in terms of going back in time, 2018, we were all, in terms of BTC value, it was like 300 sats, Satoshis. We're now down at 75. It has been a lot lower. And a lot of people are getting interested in this indicator. This indicator will be out on the 20th of January. So please keep an eye on my channel. I'm not going to reveal the pricing yet because it's super good. And we'll release the social media pages very, very soon so you can get involved, so you can get up to date with it. But this tells you what momentum is doing in terms of an investor and stuff like that. And it tells you when to buy and when to sell, essentially. You know, when things are changing in the trend. But VeChain has had a good run the last few weeks. You can see that since like the start of start of November. It's doing well. But for me, you know, I think this is majorly undervalued anyways, long term. If you think in the next couple of years where this is already at in terms of this year, in terms of going into next year, it's low compared to where it's been. There's a lot of things that's happened. In terms of price in USTD, it's incredibly low where it has been. And you'll probably see that in a second. Now, ignore my scribbles here. This has gone down a lot in price. Obviously, the token swap, if you were holding since 2016 to 2017, there was a token swap. It changed the dynamic of the price. But if you go low to high, there is some severe gainage here. Severe gainage. Unbelievable gainage. We know that traditional markets will deliver between 7 and 10% return of investment on any sort of stock. This is cryptocurrency. It gets pretty crazy. So for me, looking at this and where we could go, you've got to look at where it's been in the past. Obviously, you've got the, you know, these regions here from a couple of months back is a possible area. You know, for me, looking at all that, apologies, this is one area where we could target. Obviously, we could target a lot higher, but it depends on Bitcoin, it depends on the altcoins and stuff like that. But you got to look at where we have been in the past, and for me, I think this is just a flaw of a cycle, in my opinion, because again, it's developed, it's grown, it's built stuff, it's actually developed more and better, even more, well, a lot more partnerships in terms of what it's been. And these prices up in the bull run, and this is price of bull run, this was like, you know, we haven't even got all the data for this one essentially. So if I go back in time a little bit and go vet, and we'll put it to another exchange, depending on what we've got, let's have a look at dollar. No, we don't have any information. It would be good to go further in time in terms of what sort of, sorry guys, it's because of the token swap. In terms of what it was, in terms of where it has been, you can see it's been a lot higher. You know, it was a lot higher before that as well. So, you know, we've got to look at previous highs. The bull run, the altcoin market, alt season essentially. So for me, the whole altcoin market is low. But one thing about VeChain is the return on investment is only down minus 64%. A lot of other altcoins are down a lot more. You know, you've seen it all before. You've seen the ones that are down 97%, 96%, 95%, 94%. This isn't, it obviously is down, we know that. But, you know, the best investors, they don't buy the coins from the high, they buy the ones that are low, that have still got the fundamentals, still got the development, still got the team, still got the fundamentals of all the partnerships in its use case. This has grew a lot in the last 18 months in terms of the infrastructure, what it's built, revenue, it's got an economic model, it has partners that have got multi-billion dollars revenue every single year, like Walmart. For me, looking at that, buying something low with a little bit of money at every time and it dips, who knows what an altcoin season or a bull run could give us. Stuff like this people will invest in, especially in Asia, especially when you see the leader and the president of, you know, China saying that we must accelerate blockchain technology in China. It's going to spark a reaction. This will spark a reaction due to where it is geographically. So that's my opinion on it. Not financial advice, personal opinion. I hold it. This is not a paid show, obviously. I wish it was. I'd love to get paid VeChain. But for me, that's my personal opinion. So have a good new year tonight. Be safe if you are drinking and whatnot. I'll be back again probably on Thursday, Friday, to do some more altcoin reviews in terms of what I think is going to do well over the time in the future. But this is undervalued coins of 2020. This is low, in my opinion. It has been lower. been a lot higher as well.